Okay. Um, so it's really dark right here. I don't even know how this is functioning. Okay, so as you can see, I have like a little post-it thing going on. I just want to go ahead and run down this synopsis in reference to my abuse. And it was literally I had started this video around 11:10, and the going live was acting real screwy, and I'm pretty sure as I'm disclosing this information, it is trying to be gatekeep and intercepted. It's trying to be gatekeeped and intercepted so that way I can't share this information with many, or like I guess like a selected party. But irregardless, I'm going to go ahead and proceed with sharing as much information as possible, at least giving a brief synopsis um, in reference to my abusers and the abuse that I've experienced for several years, and it just only gotten worse as the years went by. So here we are. It is pretty dark right now. Let's see if I can't go ahead and add some light. Wait, do I have it? No, I think it's in the car. Yeah, yeah. I think I have it in the. I think I have. No, it's my mouse. It's no tumble. This. Okay, I think it's in the. You know what's not? Bam Bam. All right. I'm just gonna go ahead and go for old school situations and go for Bam. I think this is gonna have to be the wave right now. Just go for Bam. Okay. Perfection. Love it. Love it. Love it. Bam Bam. Bam. Okay, I think it's better. Because what I want to do is that I want to. Oh, it's perfection. Hold on. La la. La la. And really shocking. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, pardon me. Get this further in there. All right. Spadoosh. Okay. It's just that I couldn't really adjust this, and okay. So cool beans, and let's go right here. The setup. The setup looking nice for gifts. It's just that I have this thing attached to charger right now, so she's being commoditone a beach. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, so hey, what's going on? Yeah, this is my little makeshift easel, which is really just on the table. I just wanted to go. All right, so let's just go straight into it because I don't have much time that I really wanted to go ahead and discuss this. It's already late. It's Wednesday, November 29th, at 11:17 p.m. And I should go ahead and just kind of Actually, just share that information. Yep, here we go. 11/17, November. I'm sorry, November 29th, Wednesday. And I'm just going to bam, bam, boom, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then bam, 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 bam. And then here, oops, share, copy link, bam, and then 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 bam. Bam, and then bam, and here. Okay, and then bam, bam. Cool. Size, and then bam, 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 bam. Yes, gotta do that. All right. Yeah, boy. All right, let's see how quickly and how efficient we can do this. I don't again. All right, girl. I don't want to go outside. It's so cold, and my whatchamacallits aren't oh, should not have been into. Living it. Sweet. I can be such the MacGyver sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah. Well, that's beautiful. Okay, perfection. Alrighty, guys, we're good to go. That's my planter. Yeah, and yeah. All right, guys, let's do this. Okay, so here we are. There's been so much bullshit that's been going on behind my back for so many years that there would definitely be multiple facets that I would need to cover respectively. Um, so that means, like, with each department, with each entity, with each well, and within each collective entity group, I would need to go ahead and discuss exactly the kind of abuse that I've been subjected to against my will, authority, against my will and my knowing for several years. So let's just get to the meat and potatoes. It hasn't been months, there's been years. Okay. I have been abused for X amount. I have been abused for X amount of years. Okay. We can definitely say it's been more, definitely more than 7. I would definitely say nearly 2 decades. By underneath I'd say underneath this type of this dictatorship, this authorization, these figures, I have been abused for at least 7 years. I definitely, well, I would say nearly 20, if not 20. But the fact that it's been, we'll say safely from for 7, where it's like I started just noticing and picking up on some things where um the abuse and stuff increased. That's when like things just start really just being like, okay, well, what the fuck is going on here? But I didn't really think of it because I had people who were my abusers still smiling in my face, still being in my presence, and there was just a lot of things that were going on that were unwinding around me that I was trying to put out like these little fires, not knowing that people in the background were sabotaging and doing malicious shit in order to harm me and wanting to ultimately take me out, which is what it's a present day matter that I'm going through. Okay. So let's just get that down. Let's also get down to point where I am. This is a human zoo kind of situation. So I actually want to put that here. All right, this is a very serious matter that's going on right now. This covers racism. This covers crime. This covers corruption. This covers basic average citizens participating with the government and who are abusing and weaponizing the system to their will for entertainment and to also reenact slavery. So, no matter what kind of distractions that you hear from people in your group chats or whatever like that, I am undergoing the human zoo experiment, an advanced modern situation, human zoo. So, this is me. This is me. And you're able to see, I showed this before in another video, but you're able to see my tits and my vagina without my permission. Without my permission. Okay. You under this condition, This is inhumane. This is inhumane. This is cruel, illegal, because this was supposed to be abolished. Well, this was formally abolished. So this is cruel, this is inhumane, this is illegal, very corrupt. I know illegal and corrupt are really just cousins, but like this is like it's basically like it's just so severe because of the details that went on within it, that makes this a really tragic tale where black people and white people and non-blacks decided to band together in order to abuse me. So cruel, inhumane, and illegal. Okay. There was experimentations from social, medical, because you had medical professionals that you hired and also compromised in order to try to pretend to show my information. But what they did in actuality was that they took some of my records, but then they merged it with my abusers in order to make it look like I actually have something, or I'm actually just, I guess, like unwell, or they manipulated it into the point where they wanted to um, use it as any means in order to ostracize me or to make me look unattractive or to make me look undesirable to the masses or to anybody. So, experiment, paid off doctors, paid off paid off, um, medical staff. I'm putting doctor slash medical staff. Okay. Um, to basically, so like to harm, harm and lie on me. Okay. Also, exploit me. So you guys were making money off of that, right? So you guys were making money off of this situation. You were selling my nudes and you were selling my body. You were filming me without my permission, without my authorization, in order for you guys to make a profit off of it. So it was basically like porn. It was also, so like, what is it, like OnlyFans, voyeuristic. Within that age limit of 7 years, I had a boyfriend, and during that time, obviously with in a relationship, you have sex. So without my knowing, this was going on. So you were selling, that porn to, whatever like website that you guys wanted to. So it was like to OnlyFans, a dark website, dark website. In addition to that, you guys were also taking it upon yourselves to, um, you were seeing me. You also took it for exploitation for creative endeavors. Creative endeavors. Any of the ideas that I had and things of that nature, you guys were saying that one of my abusers was saying that I was in business with them when I wasn't at all. All this stuff that I was doing in regards to my business was solely me, solely my effort. It had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with them. Not money, not anything. Anything that was literally there was a moment where like if I had ever needed to like borrow money, this was up until the point where they had literally sabotaged me. This is the moment where it was like they wanted me to be dependent on them, but they hated my independence. So it was like I didn't need you really for money. It was just like I went to you because you were a friend. Trust and believe I had other resources where I would try to get the money. But I thought because as your friend that you would allow me to borrow. And this is literally only like, like $100 or a couple $100. And I immediately paid it back with interest because that's the kind of person who I am. I've literally witnessed people who will like borrow money and either they feel like the other person would feel like, oh, they owe them. And no, that's just never me. That's never been me. And that's never will be me. I really hate that. And I think vice versa. Like I will never allow you to borrow money and think that, okay, well now like, I own you or something like that. And especially if you pay me back plus interest, bitch, stop it. And that's literally, the kind of respect that I have for folks. They wouldn't do that for me, but that's literally the respect that I have for people because that's the way how I move. So it's the way how I respected myself. Moving on to this point right here, where it's just like, okay, so you're exploiting that person, which is me. You're doing porn when I have a relationship with somebody. You had porn. You're selling it onto dark website and to OnlyFans. Okay, so this was a very voyeuristic opportunity for you guys. Hold on for one moment. Let me actually. I think I can even make this look a little bit brighter. Yes. Okay. So this was a very opportunistic for people. I hope you guys are following. Another thing that happened through the exploit was that there were different kind of businesses that wanted to keep up in here. The kind of businesses were, again, average citizens. Average citizens that were inspired by the man-made troubles that you guys decided to create for me, that you saw me, either succeed or accomplish and move past, excel from, and you guys wanted to try to make like some type of, you guys got your own idea or like other kind of inspirations. So creative endeavors included inspirations, excuse me, ideas of my life and abusers so it's like man-made created um struggles. Okay. So, and that included average citizens. That included average citizens. That included the government. That included my abusers, my basic abusers. That included the government. That included what is it? The I'm putting OG original abusers. That included the city of Trenton. That included relatives. Yeah. So average citizens, government, OG abusers, city of Trenton, and relatives. Okay. Okay. You are seeing this so far and that you're catching on to it. All right. So these are um, you know, government, corporations, and entities. Okay. So these are your players. Okay, so those are the players. Those are the watchers. Those are the people who are, part of the gang stalking. These are people who are exhibiting, or like observing me, and giving me like, this this rude, not the well, it's not just it's not really rude. It's this disrespectful entitlement where they feel like they should be my life coach or therapist, considering that I have not escaped or I have not been rescued or I have not saved myself from the abusive environment. So it's really putting the cart before the horse, in which you are giving me inaccurate or information that is just, is not applicable. You cannot try to give me information and stuff like that when it's either um, not insufficient though, but it's useless, it's worthless, and also it's it's inaccurate. You're not giving me, you're not providing it in the correct manner and time. So yeah, average citizens, government, OG abusers, city of Trenton, relatives, corporations, entities, etc. Okay, these are the players. These are like, for a lot of people, these are you guys. You are the abusers. Players. No. Let me just go ahead and put it for what it is. You are the abusers. Okay, you are the abusers. And so you not only did the dark. This is how it started out, really. But I just want to basically put on what this is. So you did that. You're exploiting it that way, and you're also exploiting it through creative endeavors. You are exploiting it through also religion, heavy on the religion part. Religion slash life coach. Life coach ambition kind of thing. So, yeah. And let's just go ahead and add some color to this because I wanted to kind of distinct. My goodness. All right. So human zoo. All right. And these were the different types of things that you guys use. So it's porn, it's creative endeavors, religion. These are the main ways you guys have exploited me, the main ways you guys have abused me. Are these three channels, these three avenues. There have been other ways, but this is just one of the major ways. Okay. Again, this is cruel. This is inhumane. This is illegal because and also it's extremely unjust and unethical. All right. So instead of looking at it like for what it is, humans do. Um, Now this is what you guys are doing and where you're doing it. What are you doing it for? Experimentation. You're doing it also for emotional benefit. There's just something about harming somebody, being a sadistic kind of person that is really for your ego. Emotional benefit for your ego. Okay. Another reason that you guys are doing this, and again, people are thinking that I'm making this video for my abusers. Like my abusers know what the fuck they're doing, especially the ones that are in the city of Trenton, because obviously this whole entire shit is illegal. So they don't fucking care. It's just that the point that I wanted to make evident is for the future generation that are growing up. Um, that if anybody is actually going to be caring about Black history and just history, period, I want to go ahead and put this out here because it was Black people that decided to reinstitute slavery. The unhealthy group within the Black community decided to reinstitute slavery and decided to sell out. Now I'm going to go in further to discuss on how this is more than just bullying, because at its core, not as at its just it's not even at its core, but just at it's literally at its transparency. This is literally what's going on. This is human zoo and abuse. This is slavery. This is human trafficking. This is a human zoo. This is human trafficking. Okay. This is modern slavery. All right. Now, there are a lot of Black people. The thing about it is just that the reason why I have to say this, and I really do, is just that um, there were, it was just really too many Black people that decided to allow this to happen, that it overwhelmed the population of anybody who was just like, no, this is wrong. What are we doing? That this is not right. If there was anybody that was actually saying that and that saying that this was unjust and that I should have my freedom and I should have my justice, for any of those people who were saying that, like, I really am great. Like, I thank you for saying that. It's just that, you were being overshadowed and silenced by the majority of the Black people, the Black community, like the group, the unhealthy group within the Black community that wanted to be opportunists, that wanted to exploit me and wanted to get some type of emotional benefit and ego off of this abuse right here. So at the very end of the so basically every day I have people trying to make it something else that it isn't. They want me to try to see it in another light. And it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? This at its core, this is what you're doing. So they want to see it as they want to see it as hold on. What I can do and have done for others. What I can do and have done for others. There's the conversations of, oh, um, basically you're suffering. People are saying like your suffering and resilience has helped so many people. Do you know how much of a slap in the face that is? Because what's going on here is just that you need to see somebody do worse than you in order for you to fucking live. That's like, I just had class last night, and well, tonight, and we got our test scores back. And some people did really well, and some people did really bad, and some people did okay. Now, are you telling me that you only feel good about yourself knowing that somebody got a grade that was worse than you? Like, that's something that you need to check your ego on, first of all. Like, it's really fucked up. Like, from the surface point, I can understand it when you're just like, "Oh, wow, like, okay, look." It's like this. I can understand it from a point where you're just like, "Hey, look, I tanked this test and but somebody else got worse than me, so I don't feel so bad." Just between us, that's your ego talking, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good look. It is a very human thing, but it's not a good look. You feel me? It's just not a good look, sweetie. Um, But there is a moment where it's but that is different than you saying, "Hey, look, I didn't do really well on this test because there were certain questions on this test that weren't, on this study guide." And other people who also felt the same, um, you know, that brings a comfort because then you're not thinking like, "Oh, well, maybe, there was some type of like misunderstanding." It was just like, "No, like we were, to assume," and I know what assume is like, you make an ass of yourself and me, but it was just like we were literally told that there were going to be certain kind of questions and things of that nature on the test, and they literally there was other questions that were there instead. So yeah, um, it is different at the moment where you think that, okay, look, um, whether or not I'm the only person who fails, I'm just at least comforted by the fact knowing that, well, there were other people who were, I guess, blindsided by these extra questions, not on the results, but the extra questions. And let me give you like, a more general example. It's like, hey, look, everybody is living in the hood, or everybody is living in a certain neighborhood, or everybody is going in a certain school, everybody's at a certain job. Okay, let's go over on that linear tier. Okay, are you upset that somebody got a promotion and is literally going to, get a higher salary? Maybe, maybe not. But it's just like, what does it matter to you when it comes to, like, okay, well, at least there's other people who are down here with me in order to, like, not get that salary or not get that position. That is a more lower level, kind of like a more level harmless kind of situation. Seriously, again, these parts are human. When you have those moments where you're just like, "Oh, okay, well, you feel like a little bit of comfort or understanding, or just like a sense of community where you're not alone, but you're all have the similarities where you're all at the same job, but it's just like, okay, well, one person has like a raise and so one other person doesn't. Say that you're working at customer service. Say that you're a real, like, a retailer. You're at a store, you're folding clothes, but one of your friends actually gets promoted, and you're just like, oh wow, like honestly, you should be happy for that person. If you're just like, oh well, then if you're bitter, then that's seriously not good. But if you are comforted because you know that other people right there haven't gotten the promotion, again, that is a moment where it's human, but it's just like that is harmless, okay? The moment where you start being envious of the people who are either like excelling, or when you actually want to see people like down and you only want to see yourself up, that's when you have a serious problem. And that's what's going on right here. In no way am I flattered or impressed or happy when you're telling me that my suffering, my pain, my unjust um, a situation is bringing you joy or comfort, or making you go on through your 9 to 5 or your more average and common day to day life, and inconveniences or challenges. You decided to disrupt and harm or fuck with me in order for you to go ahead and live your life. You're trying to make it seem, and then even worse, you are still at a point where you're just like demeaning my life and making it seem like what you're going through is what I'm going through, or what I'm going through is what you're going through. You feel me? Like, I'm being filmed. I'm under public 24-hour public surveillance. My body, without my permission, is being on cameras, where you guys are talking about me, judging me, criticizing me, trying to help me by telling me exactly what I should be doing with my life. And what do you use on top of that? You use it as a justified means that it is okay, which is extremely inhumane, um, by trying to cover it up with lies. So you try to cover it up with a distraction. Oh, like, well, what I can do and do have done for others, um, what I can do and have done for others is supposed to be like important. Another thing that you guys do is that you try to just lie, excuse me, lie and project, to make, excuse me, actually, hold on, to make my abuse. You lie and project in order to make my abuse seem like, something that I deserve. Meanwhile, okay, look, I'm not saying all 9/11 terrorists were treated respect because I read the article, so I'm not saying that, but there were people who were definitely screened for future kind of like threats. Those people and school bombers and just in general, people who have literally even threatened the president were treated with more humanity than I was and than I still am. Okay? Like people have more respect, people have more privacy. You're not scrutinizing their thoughts, their patterns, their, how what time did they fucking get up? You're not seething with hatred at just my sheer happiness or enjoyment or anything. Like that is just insane, fucking insane. Because there's no justified reason for you to guys have to go on for this. Like we have this thing. This is what you're trying to blanket it up, but this is really what's going on every single fucking day. Every single fucking day. So that 24-hour surveillance, public surveillance, nudity, nudity, bathroom, you know, on the toilet, just anything, just like every little thing. There's another thing with my food. I've mentioned this quite often. Food poisonings. Oh, right now. Okay, so yeah, food poisonings. We got food poisonings right here. Food and drink poisonings. Excuse me. Food and drink poisonings. Again, you have access to go ahead and consult with my medical professionals. So you have access to go ahead and bribe certain type of like pharmacists or like pharmacy technicians in order to like harm or mislabel anything to harm me. That's what you guys. That is your objective. That is seriously your objective. And I'm just writing this down because this is just my layout of my synopsis because eventually I am making a video right now. I don't want to just have one of these like going on. All right, so it's 43 minutes and 49 seconds. Let me just kind of roughly get to this point. So we have this, which is basically the human zoo, and you guys try to cover it up by saying, but with lies and projections, and also about what I can do for others. You also, in addition to that, you, like I said, for exploitation reasons, you throw religion on top of it, saying that this is something that I deserve when it's absolutely not. You tether it to a made up, um, you know, religion slash doctrine or archaic one. So like with the Bible, things of that nature. And then in the new age, you have like just spirituality where there's different types of, you can love God and you can worship God, but you worship him how you want to worship him. But there are other spiritualities where people decide to worship African gods or gods from India, from different gods from like gods like little g, I guess, in order from different type of countries and respectively different types of nations. So whichever one you decide to try to use whatever that religion is and make me a totem, martyr, a figure to push your religion onto others in order for you to make money, of course, because it also makes you the go-to person, especially if you have a good enough speech and you're good with your words. It'll make you the go-to person in order for you to attract more people. Okay. Now, when I do this video, I want to be able to, well, not I want to be able to, but it's just that this is what I've been doing. I have been collecting the information, I've been collecting the photos, I've been collecting the videos and the conversations, so that way I can go ahead and put it all together cohesively. So, religion you've abused, the lies and projections you've abused, what I can do and have done for others is very selfish. It's extreme. This is all extremely selfish, but this is what you guys have been doing. Okay, so that there's more to this, of course. Obviously, let's see. Again, this is another like putting the cart before the horse kind of situations where you guys would try to make distractions or deflections. Okay, so yes, abuse amount is for 7. It's like for at least 7 years, over 7 years, where more people increased and trying to abuse me. Now, let's go actually get some details of this. And my abusers, the biggest loudmouths, are just like, oh, it's no big deal. Okay, so my biggest abusers are like, oh, it's no big deal. They look at the extra burdens that I have to take on, the extra burdens that they put on me, and they're just like, oh, it's no big deal. Oh wait, hold on. You know what? Let me go ahead and put down some of the excuses that they say. They'd be like, oh, ignore. Excuse me. Actually, let's go ahead and this right here. Because these people are really fucking annoying and incompetent. I'm gonna put this in black because this is literally just like this is dull. This bullshit is dull when it comes to like the superficial shit that they try to cover over in regards to my abuse. They'll say something like, because they are profiting off of this and they want so much of this, their ego. They'll say things as like, just ignore the naysayers, ignore what people say or do or think. And the things that they say, do, or think is in order for them to go ahead and try to harm me by food, drink, and poisonings, home invasions, And it's insane that people pretend that they care about my cats and my my pets and things of that nature, because what they do is just that, they'll harm and poison my pets. They'll destroy my property. So that includes, house, car, things of that nature. They'll put things in the intent to severely harm my health. Financial abuse, identity theft. Excuse me. Oh, so many things. So many things. Degrade and devalue me. And it's a gaslighting attempt when they say things like, just ignore the naysayers, ignore what people say or do or think, because that is a tactic in order to degrade and devalue me. In order to degrade and devalue me, you kind of justify your reasons in order to treat me inhumanely. And at the point when you are treating me inhumanely, you're going to just basically consider me as less than human. And when you consider me as less than human, then I'm more easily disposable, like a fucking pet or something like that, or like a dog that you can just put down or put out on the street, anything of that nature. So that way you can make me destitute. That's when people start feeling entitled, like, oh, well, then this person deserves it. Like, this is what this person is going to get. Because then you start making, like, little assumptions, and or you make reasons, just like inaccurate reasons, in order to harm me. And another thing about this is just that, and again, this all started with Black people, and it got carried out by non-Blacks, majorly white, because this was an inherent racism. This was all modern. This is what modern slavery is. So yeah, when people are telling me, or when people are telling you that, hey, look, you should just ignore what's going on, no. Okay, that person is a flying monkey. That person right there is not an ally. That person is a coon. And remember when I was discussing to you about coon, nigger, Neanderthal? Those were the people that were literally making it their objective in order to go ahead and suppress and further oppress, help to oppress the Black person or whomever is basically the target individual who needs help and who actually is somebody deserving, especially people who are deserving of fucking help. So, in order for you guys to do that, you decided to taint my fucking character. And so, right here, where I had the whole coon, nigger, Neanderthal, you have the abusers, of course. I mean, everybody is an abuser. When you're doing this, you are an abuser. But you have the OG, you have the supplier who is funding this, the suppliers who are funding this and pulling whatever strings necessary in order to make this shit happen. And then you have, you know, the audience, flying monkeys, you know, footmen kind of situations. Okay. Because for you guys, this is all supposed to be, you know, entertainment, entertainment and profitable. to you guys, okay? Now, with the coon, nigger, and Neanderthal, I'm just going to do this one more time. With the coon, nigger, Neanderthal. All right, so you have your mini. I shit you not. This is how it all started, bitch. You have your many black people that decided to participate in this shit. And this consists of relatives. This consisted of relatives. This consisted of my community. This consisted people within eventually like the world, but I want to go ahead and start out with just this. So you know, ex-friends right now, but yeah, ex-friends who were friends at the time, relatives in the community, okay? So what happened is just that the OG and the main person is the OG and the main person who's the abuser is this person. And this person decided to let's see. I'm just gonna go ahead and do you know let's go use pink because I like pink. Okay, so you had a female here. You had female here that decided to go ahead and abuse me. For whatever reason, they wanted to make me public enemy. Even though oh, what's my hair like? I really have to be like, oh, what is my hair like? Okay. So here's me. Here's this person right here. Okay. Right. This person right here is, kind of destitute. She grew up from a place that was very extremely low income. It was very homely. All right. And I wasn't the judgmental kind of person because I was the kind of person who was actually very understanding. My father was somebody who was, um, my father was somebody who lived with women. Yes, he was a womanizer, but it was just like he lived with women, and some of those places were just like not clean and not kept. And I would go there on the weekends most of the time, but it was just like on like, different which place are we at now, Dad? You feel me? While I was living with my grandmother and my mother, it was more, it was definitely secure. It was nice. It was a nice place. The only person who was abusive in my life at that point in time was my mother. And then on the weekend I could just go see my dad for like a night or two. Anyway, the condition of where he used to grow, the condition of where he lived for a point in time was not as bad as hers, but it definitely gave me insight to just be, very compassionate. So I was just like, okay, hey, look, like that doesn't like mind, like I don't mind about that kind of stuff. Like, like this is okay. For some reason, I shit you not, for some reason, this person took it as a personal affront, and wanted to come up against me. There were moments where this person just automatically, you could tell about the low self-esteem that this person had. And you can sense it automatically. You can definitely sense it. And it took nothing for me to just be like, hey, what's going on? Like at the time, I was more open. I was more like, social. I was more kind of more vibrant with people, up until of course, the point where I realized like what the fuck was going on, um, in present day. So this person had approached me and we became friends. Eventually, this person kept approaching me, and then she was just like, "Oh, you're gonna be my friend." It was always a moment where people were just kind of telling me exactly, "All right, so what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" It's much like today, where people are like, "Oh, hey, look, go ahead and marry this person. You're gonna go ahead and have this person's baby. You're gonna go do this. You're gonna do that." These people today are so fucking in their fucking feelings and entitled that they don't realize that the only reason why I even, accepted people into my life was because I had a more, I had a more open kind of, presence, because no one was presenting me in a situation of danger. No one was presenting me in a situation of disrespect. This was a more of a, hey, look, you are a friendly person. And it's not just like I'm immediately accepting you. It's just like, I am going to accept you because so far you seem to be a person who seems to be, seems to be okay, seems to be chill. Plus, I'm a child. Mind you, I'm in elementary school, so I'm not really familiar with the kind of duplicitous, kind of characters that people become or people are. So I was just like, oh, okay, fine. My only bully was my mother. So I was just like, oh, okay, fine. We'll be friends. All right. I'm over here literally the same kind of things that this person right now at 30 something is, I know the age, but in this same thing that this person is, like going for or trying to go, went for things of that nature in her 30s, are the same thing that I've tried independently on my own because I was interested and I had liked it when I was elementary school up until up until my adulthood. And it's not for me to be like, "Oh, okay, like you can't do anything that I can do." It's literally saying, no, this person has a like a fucking Snow White personality where this person is literally not only competing to what I'm doing, and yes, it is competing because it's just like if you have to put me down and if you have to compare my character, my looks to yours at every single fucking day or whomever you meet, that is a fucking competition that you have started your own fucking self. That right there is a deep, deep, deep insecurity. And all the accomplishments that you had decided to go ahead and go for with the help of people who are within the government and within certain type of corporations and businesses, that is something that is saying that is a serious cry for help. Because at that point in your 30s, you are competing with a fucking child, bitch. That is some fucking Snow White shit. Okay? You are at that point where you are looking very extremely pathetic because l- fast forward, you're in your 30s and you are competing with something that happened how many fucking years ago? Like 20 something years ago? More than that. So I shit you not. So at this point in time, like you are saying that, oh, all right, well, I just remember the times when you don't remember the good times. You don't remember the times when I bought you things. You don't remember the time when I protected you or when I stood up for you or when I spoke out and I had invited you over to places where you had amenities and nice things. You don't remember that. You remember the things that I went on to achieve. You don't remember that the part where like, you saw my interest in, violin or, assistant president of like student council, um, heavy volunteering, creating literally creating gadgets and winning first place in the district, an entire district, science fair, kind of things like that. Just winning awards, literally a bunch of awards. Accolades and awards and things of that nature. Me independently studying multiple languages because I just wanted to go ahead and just fulfill my life with certain type of things on my own. Nothing encouraged by my family, just things I was just like, oh, like let me try this and actually excel at it, or in art. For some reason, I'm over here literally welcoming you to a moment where, hey, look, hey, all right, well, you like this? Yeah, sure, try it. You made it a fucking competition. Why you needed to make a competition? I don't fucking know. But during that time, this person had shown like little kind of jealousy kind of traits and what seemed but disguised as jokes. So like yeah, hold on for one moment. So between these two people, I'm just gonna put myself like me, her. So with me, I'm doing these things. And so in your 30s, you decide to go ahead and pursue these. And I'm just like, hey, look, like hey, whatever you actually want to go ahead and try to fulfill, like, ballet and dance and all that other kind of stuff, then do that. You feel me? Do that. I'm just laying this as the fucking groundwork for what happens as she got older. Okay. So here we are doing this. At this point in time, this person right here is this person right here is making jokes behind my back, in face. Well, actually, hold on. So it's just like these jokes are obviously behind my back though, but jokes also in my face. But the in my face, it's more of a oh, I'm just playing. But then I'm also saying my jokes too, and then all of a sudden this person wants to play victim. This person wants to just like cower and cry. And I'm just like, well, what the fuck is going on? But you watching, but also during this time, you're watching TV shows, and it's just like these TV shows are showing, different kind of scenarios where two people who are friends even will like bicker and things of that nature, but it just seems like everything ends up cool at the end because it's just like, hey, we would never, I mean, you've seen Friends, you've seen Living Single, you've seen Family Matters, you've seen family related things, you've seen the Cosby's, just a bunch of TV shows that show like kids bickering, and that's what kids do really. So you wouldn't think anything of it when you have people just kind of like wisecracking jokes, and then they're just like, oh, like I'm just playing, what I don't like that. Especially with this person's always initiating it, but you also have the media to kind of help you dissuade any kind of like, well, maybe this person actually doesn't like me. You don't really think about it like that because at that point in time, you didn't have any of those resources like we do now, where we have Twitter, TikTok, actual therapy now, and things of that nature, where people are just like really calling out things for what it is. Because a lot of times, especially, inherent, not I would say inherent, but like the stone foundation really of Black families is to just a lot of the messiness and a lot of the things that should be said out loud aren't said. Really, it's just like the remedy for it is just that you pray about it. You deal with it on your own. um these are not moments in which you put shit out there, which is really funny because my relatives didn't have any problem with lying about me and calling it my deep and darkest secrets. Oh my god. So yeah, they were over here lying and slandering me, saying that a lot of this stuff that was going on in my life was supposedly deep, dark secrets. whole entire time equals their. They were like, oh, Shalice's deep dark secrets was actually their deep dark secrets. It was their mess, their drama. To this day, like a lot of the shit that comes out of their mouth is they're literally telling on themselves, and they think that it's cathartic because they're making it seem like a puppet kind of situation. Do you know that when you're playing with, like, pretend that this right here, that these, hold on, I just want to cover this up because I don't want this to dry out. But pretend that you're playing puppets, and I think that also in therapy, because I've seen this on like a scene in like a TV show or in a movie. Like, you've seen those moments where they have like a therapy session and they probably like play with puppets or something that to that nature. Don't quote me on this. This is something I'm guessing, but it's just like, or even as a kid, you would just kind of act out certain things, like, oh, no, 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 this is me, or da da da. Shit. Even nowadays, we have Sims characters where we're acting out as each other, where this person is supposed to represent us, or this person is supposed to represent you or somebody that you know. So it feels cathartic when you guys happen to give that character or give that doll or whatever um, the problems that you went through. The Not just the problems that you went through, but it's just like, pardon me, my neck. The problems that you went through, the dramas that you went through, or the dramas that you want to experience, or even the trips that you want to go on and things of that nature. It does that for you. Like, you get your rocks off. So it works in the same kind of way, where I am that person, where I am these people's dolls. And I am, for my abusers, I am y'all doll. You are projecting, you are making me your totem and projecting your hate, your insecurities, your ambitions, and how fast I achieve them, or how slow I achieve them, or which route I choose to achieve them. You have made me your totem. I am supposedly like your doll that you want me to fulfill your things for. And that is a sickness, that is a mental health issue that you have going on. And that is not excusable for the abuse that I've been through. So let's just go ahead and put that down there. And again, it's really sad because Black people for a very long time have been at a deficit to achieving a lot of things. So they took it upon themselves to go ahead and I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know why homegirl right here didn't have any arms. I mean, I'm trying to be inclusive, but wow. It's just like Black people were at a deficit where they didn't have a lot of the things. Like 7 years back, people weren't going ahead to travel to all these places and try to post all these type of aesthetics. For like maybe I'd say like for like 7 to like 12 years, people weren't really doing that heavy like there are now. Nowadays, that's all you see most of the time. You see people just trying to like really seem to like pander to white America, or to what white America might want to see, um, and trying to be a certain type of embody, like, and try to embody a certain kind of a figure or presence or image of what white America and what society or the world might want to have or be or perceive, things of that nature. So yes, their projections, they were using me, and abusers were using me as a fucking totem for their abuse. Now, going back to this woman right here, this figure right here has made it their mission in order to try to oppress me, and they have done so by using lies, a whole bunch of lies. They will actually make it their mission to maybe say, oh yeah, that person is really tall. Do you know why that person is really tall? It's because, like, that person, her mom happened to have sex with a basketball player who was married one time or something like that. Like, is that kind of shit where you're using like anything as possible, where you're trying to make it seem like using like one bit of truth with an entire lie. So, and this started out with this person being extremely jealous of me and then wanting to go ahead and try to impress. This person is always trying to impress other people. So this person right here was trying to first impress me. Boom, got me off the list. So then this person went ahead and tried to impress my mother and grandmother. Because eventually, now that you become a friend, you're invited to come over to my place. Okay, we're gonna play dolls. Maybe I'm gonna go out, and I'm like, oh, can so and so come? Things of that nature. So you're using that as an opportunity to go ahead and impress them, but not just in a way where you're just making it okay and safe, like saying, like, hey, look, I'm actually, an okay person to be around your daughter. You're making it a mission where you're just like, oh no, I want to become your fucking daughter. So you start calling them mother, you start calling them grandmother, you start wanting to wear what I wear. And I'm just like, at a certain point in time, I immediately kind of like, okay, well, that's kind of creepy. Like literally, even as a child at that moment, I was like, that's creepy. And so I was just like, well, then how would you like it? So I started calling her mom, and her mom liked it. But her mom was a criminal. And there's nothing like there's different types of criminals. The criminal is a spectrum, okay? Technically, I myself right now officially have become a criminal considering that I have a recent situation where I have gotten into an altercation with a relative in regards to what's been going on. So I have kept a really extremely clean record, but a lot of the shit that these people have done behind my fucking back has resulted in me going ahead to do self defense and use it to a moment where I'm trying to literally put all this shit out here. So just know that the initiators right here are black. So we're still on this moment where it's black. It's 116, and I'm literally gonna try to like sum this up as much as possible. Um, Within the reason of the way how black people decided to go ahead and so like become sellouts, become coon nigger Neanderthals. And there's coon nigger Neanderthals within each respective race. Okay, there's coon nigger Neanderthals within the whites, within the non-blacks, within obviously within the blacks. So this person right here decides to go ahead and wants to make it her mission in order to try to take over. So that's why I said this. Okay. Like I said, I don't have any beef or issues with somebody trying to wanting to go ahead and fulfill their life or their childhood in the way how they wanted to, in the way how they couldn't. So they wanted to go ahead and fulfill certain things. And they were supposedly, I guess, like inspired. It's just that the things that you did in order to try to attain those things, like you've hacked my accounts, you've hacked my 5-year plans. You decided to sleep with the person who I went out with first, somebody who's literally um, somebody that you lied to extensively, and that person has become an enemy to the point where they also are doing much harm. So this is where this is where the whites start coming in, okay? And the non-blacks start coming in. As soon as I became older, pardon me. Like literally my cat is right here. I don't know if you saw the shaking earlier, like by itself, but my cat hopped up on her little cat tree. Let me say hi. Lily. Oh, she's like, oh, like, what's up? What's up? Say hi. If I can go back to sleep. Okay, anyway, that way you're a little what's that? Uh-huh. Ooh, king got claws. But ah, oh. Okay, and focus. So yeah, uh, what happened right here? So I was just like, "Oh, okay, well, then how would you like it if I go ahead and call your mom? And she's just like, "Oh, okay, I would love that. So it would just kind of like cement the whole thing where we're family. And everybody definitely, when you have a close enough friend, you become family. But I wasn't close with her at that point. It was just like, okay, this is really creepy. So this is a way for this person to infiltrate themselves in order to become, family, or to become really, really freaking close. But during that time, it was just like it was really iffy because like the character and things of that nature. But if other people start liking her, then you just kind of like play this off because you just kind of see it for what it is, not for what it is, but just for something where it's like, oh, okay, well then it's just something where you're using this like you're using factors, you're using other elements in order to lessen your boundaries or like lessen your thought process. Yes. That was her. No. Um. Okay. Anyway, so she started wearing, like, my grandmother was the one who was definitely the fashionable one. I mean, actually my mom and my grandmother was fashionable and they liked having me in nice clothes too. So it was just like, but my she decided to, like, there was moments, but I was also a tomboy as I was getting older. So there was times where like I would have like the nicest, cutest outfits and I would like sweat out my hairstyles. Or I would go ahead and just like rough house because I was the only girl really that was around, like mostly guy. I had brothers that I grew up with and cousins or guys too. So I didn't have a choice, obviously, and I actually preferred that company. It was really cool. So, yeah, it was nice. I didn't mind it. But the point is, this person kind of used it to her advantage to go ahead and wanted to try to like imitate my grandmother. My grandmother was more of a fancy lady. She had her, like, her androgynous moments, so but she was more of like a fancy lady, and she was more colorful. So she had like more colorful hair. She had like more of a blonde hair and things of that nature. I have white on my mother's side. My mom was light skinned, and this person decided to go ahead and just kind of just like trying to emulate kind of traits that my parental figures had where I lived. So basically, it was that. So she had blonde hair, then she was gonna wear blonde hair. If my mom, I'm sorry, if my grandmother wanted to wear blonde hair, then she would wear blonde extensions and things of that nature. My mother wanted to wear my mother was a good dancer, and I would always talk about that. And then she wanted to, do things that my mother did. My grandmother was a nurse aide, and so she decided, so she was inspired, and she said that she liked that, so she wanted to become a nurse. My mother ended up before their death. My grandmother was a nurse aide, and my mother was a homemaker. And lo and behold, here you go. And a lot of the things that I put down on my own personal, private 5-year plans and things of that nature. Also, I'm going to upload that because I have those exact words where it says nurse aide and homemaker on their death certificate. So when I scan that and put that on the website, it will literally be there for you guys all to see. Because yeah, it verifies and just supportive evidence and materials in regards to that. Wanting Once you combine this with this and this, and you start seeing the comparisons and the things and the nature and the habits of what this person is doing, it really does put things into perspective on how this person became sort of like Macaulay Culkin on Good Son, that movie Good Son, or I mean, not even Good Son, but it was like or Single White Female. Because I shit you not, I was not the kind of person who would have boyfriends or date, but it was the moment where if I did take an interest in somebody, this person was right there talking in their ear to lie about me and to make me seem off-putting. And I didn't find that out until many years later. And it was just like, okay, well, I just really don't like your habits. So why the fuck would you think that I would be over here to tell you my deep, dark secrets if I've already seen where you're from or how you're acting when you're like in elementary school, in middle school? Like, I don't like the way how you're joking, but I can always back it up because, like, look at here. I'm raised by two women who have definitely slick ass mouths. Okay, like let's get as like think of like the most snappiest zodiacs or whatever like that you can think of, and I was raised by those. Plus, I myself contain in my own placements the necessary requirements in order to snap back. It's wild how you are willing to call somebody um it's wild how you're willing to call somebody a so-called bully when it's only in the capacity and when it's really only in a room in the capacity within a bunch of within a bunch of miserable other black and non-black bitches. Like how is this bullying me? Like no, what this person and these other abusers are doing is damn sure corrupt, criminal, and just like abysmal kind of bitter kind of energy. But it is in no way bullying. Okay, it's like nothing in this situation is cocky or something boastful or something to respect. Okay, this is bitch ass shit. If you if you own a pet, right, and you gotta go to work Monday through Friday, and the mail comes to your house in a day, and your dog is barking. All right, if you don't have the cameras and stuff like that, are you gonna know that your dog is barking? You might have a camera to know that the mailman is here, but are you gonna know about your dog really barking? Not really. Are you even gonna care? Probably not. But it's just that it's that same kind of energy. You're hearing a bitch bark, but I'm over here in a whole nother area. I'm over here miles away. You're saying things behind my fucking back. You're the bitch barking that's in the yard or in the house or whatever you are, but you're the bitch that's barking. So in no ways it's like bullying me. Don't get it twisted. Like what you're doing is fucking corrupt and cruel, unjust and unethical and inhumane. But in no way am I looking at you like you're a tough cookie, especially since you're over here pretending to actually be innocent and sweet. You're using religion. Oh, and mind you, I grew up in a very religious household too. So like my name in itself is inspired by the cup that Jesus had. So it's Shalice. It's inspired by the Holy Grail. So like I am a religious figure, but religious figure. I am a religious individual, but it's just like this person right here. This person wanted to exude it hard in order to seem in order to be the Trojan horse, to be in your ear, to be negative about me. Okay, it's 127. Let me just sum up this part real quick for you guys. Like I said, the abuse started within the black community. It started between this ex-friend of mine and then into the ex-friends and then also relatives and within the community of Trenton, New Jersey. So this person decided to infiltrate me, decided to have some beef, some imaginary beef, and decided to go ahead and infiltrate from here and then infiltrate from here and then started to talk behind my back with people who I would hang out with and also go to school with, and then also decided to whisper and lie into somebody who I was dating first. And then people were starting to make assumptions and were just like, oh, well, we don't like her or we are profiting off of her in order to maintain a certain specific lifestyle. Now, whatever kind of excuses that you're using is just really showing that you are being you're lying. You're saying whatever it is that you need to say in order to be a user, an abuser. So, so yeah. Overall, the coon nigger Neanderthals have found themselves, relishing in moments where it was just like they were living their lives that they saw on Pinterest and deciding to get to put it to an actual life. They were all competing with each other. It was trips. Excuse me. I would say lavish. But at what sacrifice? You're sacrificing your body for it. You're sacrificing your humanity for it. You become I've heard, what is it? Was it the human porta potties, lavish lifestyle, but for what? Like what is the monkey paw here that you guys have done in order to get these kind of things? Because the ultimate price is that you guys have become sellouts, right? So when you guys decided to, what started out as bullying, you decided to attract people who were, of this color. Not of this color. I mean, you were attracting people of this color, but you were attracting more people of this color because people of this color were already witnessing this and also taking advantage of this and also fulfilling and propelling this shit. But now these people decided to use you as a fucking shield because at the very fucking end of the day, you went about it in an entirely different way in which you wanted to go ahead and like I said, reinstitute slavery. Now, how is this different than just simple high school bullying and things of that nature? Is because you wanted to use me as your totem in order to monopolize. Pardon me. You wanted to use the things in order to monopolize this. And what makes this different from basic bullying is that this is human trafficking. At the very end of the day, all the things that you're doing right here is human trafficking. Okay, you may be only participating in bullying. You may only be participating in, I don't know, helping to steal my money. But everybody plays a fucking part in being racist, colorist, abusers. This is all, again, you are trying to threaten me. When you are bullying me at this point, you are trying to encourage other people to still maintain the hatred, the unjust hatred, and the unjust corruption and inhumanity in order to try to subject me to just to just nothing, to just a human fucking being. I'm kind of running over. Let me just go ahead and just try to sum up this up. But yeah, so this right here, Pinterest trips. The whole point of this was just that you didn't need to do this. Excuse me, you didn't need to harm me in order to achieve this. Okay, you didn't need to harm me in order to have a black superhero, in order to have a black, you know, superhero or inclusivity, because we already had black representation and black heroes. We already had inclusivity. We already had black people's faces, even dark skin black people's faces, black people's um on magazines. We already had black people. We already had an all black cast TV show. We already had these things. And it was only going to excel and get more. All we had to do was just do the same thing that we only had to just keep pushing the fucking envelope. We were making fucking progress and people needed to just do the fucking work. However, you decided to be a sellout and try to use that as an excuse when at the very end of the day, here you are still protesting and still, using racism and things of that nature as the foundation in order for you to try to get things. Like it it's more than just a blemish. That's what you guys have done to the black culture, the black identity, and things of that nature. It's more than just a blemish. You really did try to reinstitute slavery. And had this gone any further, I know you guys are still trying to do your worst, but it's just like the fact that I am innocent And the fact that you guys have been trying to execute me is just like that would have made everybody else gratis, like for free. Like everybody's hide would have been up. I don't care if you're a black person. I don't care. Like, excuse me, well, not with just I don't care, but just like the government at that point, anybody's ass is up for grabs. Okay, anybody's ass is up for fucking grabs. That means whatever color you are, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're pink, whether you're red, whether you're yellow, it didn't fucking matter. At that point in time, you are a person. It doesn't matter if you are rich or poor. It doesn't matter if you are black, white, pink, yellow, anything. It doesn't matter if you are innocent or guilty. It was just like anybody's life was going to be up for fucking grabs where you were going to be fucking taken out because you were willing to monkey paw for something that you already had. Isn't that fucking crazy? Like you guys would make y'all think pieces and things of that nature about like trying to teach me something when the whole entire time I was just watching you guys and observing you really be like fucking nincompoops. You were trying to project and trying to teach the child within you and trying to heal the trauma within you, the mistakes that you guys have made within yourselves. When in reality, um, the government and whatnot like that was basically going to teach you a lesson. And while you're over here trying to say like, "Hey, look, I'm crazy," of course you would say that because you guys have really played yourselves and you guys decided to do the worst. Who wants to be called out for all the criminal and corrupt shit that you guys have been doing? Don't worry. When you call me crazy, just remember exactly who said it, when they said it, and how often they said it, because this is what I've been getting to. Like I said, this right here is my synopsis and my layout in order for my video. So I do have supporting evidence in order to go ahead and back this up. When people talk about me, they either have to make it up, create something with the resources that they have where their people are working and fucking criminal departments and things of that nature. And it's just like, why would you go to these great fucking lengths in order to try to silence and impress one fucking person? Why? Why? That's a serious kind of question that did you hear this? Did you hear this? Because it does happen quite often. People will definitely do things in order to try to like intimidate me and things of that nature in order to try to, show that they have some type of power when they really don't have none or is extremely fucking limited. It's like people are so upset with themselves that they project and they try to have some type of vice, and the vices are extremely too unhealthy in which they were trying to go ahead and harm me. So like I don't, again, like I don't know if you were hearing that person just like trying to like knock on this wall, but they do that quite often, and to the point where like I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to say anything. I could be quietly doing my homework, and these people will literally try to do the most, where they will mess with my things, mess with my property, or they would be working in tandem with people who are trying to like harm me. And I don't see anything to be impressed by these people. Like, come on now. Basically, you want some punk ass bully shit because you'll be the person that like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, oh, you don't, no, no, no. You a punk ass bitch. You a punk ass bitch. At the very end of the day, look at it this way. Hold on. So this right here, like there's people who literally have marched. There's people who literally have protested. There's people who have died for us. So it's just like again, these are things that you guys have done where it was just like it was all for naught. It was all for fucking naught. And when you were trying to make it seem like I am when you're trying to make it seem like, oh, like this right here is just plain old bullying because hey look, we're over here. You just like, hey look, we're over here, we want to bully this girl, which is me. Oh, we want to go over here and bully this woman. It's nothing more than what celebrities go through when it comes to like gossip. gossip columns or, TikTok, things of that nature, where you have those websites or those accounts where you're gossiping about somebody or you're discussing about somebody. You're like, oh, well, we're just bullying her because, we're just making fun of her and mocking her and things of that nature. You know, we do that all the time with, whomever is here, at work or school. You're basically trying to demean what I'm going through to other people. Again, celebrity, average citizen. And you're trying to demean me by, equating me to this. Or you'll just be like, well, you know what? There's other people who have it worse, where you see, like, an African child or a child from a third world country who's smiling and dancing and things of that nature, while they're also being oppressed. And you're thinking, oh, well, then this is not that bad. I've been isolated. At the very end of the day, this person right here has a possibility of coming, to a family, to somebody who's very genuine, and that person also has privacy of, their thoughts. And also, like, I'm putting this little lock here because, their thoughts and things of that nature is protected. They have a protection around them in regards to, their entire being. It's more humane. Yes, these people are definitely oppressed, these people are definitely abused, but there are certain type of basic luxuries that I guess we all kind of like really don't pay attention to, that these people have access to, that I don't. What makes me stand out from this, which actually makes this not a common situation, but actual modern slavery and human trafficking, is the things that I said before. You are trying to attempted murder and oppress me, hoping that I kill myself. And I'm just like, no, my mental health is obviously way more better than yours because you are doing things unprovoked in order to try to take me out or to try to make me feel bad or to try to intimidate me. Like this bitch over here on some punk ass shit. Y'all really, y'all need to be locked up. Y'all don't need help. Y'all need to just be locked the fuck up. So yes, this poisoning me to try to harm me. Okay, the things that you are doing to try to compare yourselves to me, so that way you are pandering to non-blacks and or people in social elite statuses. Another thing that makes this like human trafficking and slavery is that you are acting as an overseer and that you want to stalk me, stalk, overseer, and demand to even threaten and intimidate or try to shame me into being productive and doing work and doing the right work, not just any work, but the right work that you want me to do. Yeah. This is that I mean, you've done a lot more stupid ass dangerous things, but this is definitely what makes this right in its entirety. Like this is not just some gossip rag where you're just like, "Oh, so and so right here is 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 looking too skinny, too scrawny, and things of that nature." No, you have the access to be like, oh, this person right here is looking too fat or something like that. Let's poison her food in order to make that person, kind of like lose some weight or to gain weight because I don't like the way she looks. Let's hire somebody to go into her home so that way we can harm her in order to break her out because she's too pretty. I don't like that. I want to prey on that person so much, and then I actually want to do something physical where I can in order to go ahead and make this person look like nasty or inferior or something like that, or at less pretty. I want to fuck up her job, so I want to go ahead and do things like you have made me your target in order for you to feel better about yourselves when you have horrible egos and extremely low self-esteem. Okay, it's 1:44. It's literally 1 hour and 44 minutes and 38 8 seconds and counting. And I'm gonna go. It's 12:57, about to be 1 a.m. Thursday, November 30th, and yeah, I have to turn in. But I want justice, and I deserve justice. This is modern slavery, and it started out with Black people. And I'm telling you, you guys have been used as a shield in order for a lot of bullshit to happen. And instead of you guys actually taking accountability and making things right immediately, not just like minutely, but actually resolving shit, because this shit is stale when it comes to all the bullshit that you guys are doing, the little tactics and things of that nature. I'm calling that shit out, and I would love to definitely put some of that shit up in videos, but it's just like, yeah, like I'm so fucking done with this shit. Like it's been too fucking old. Just because every single time just because a Black child wants to, is goes from being a baby to fucking 18 years old, or even from or 16 years old, this child happens to be like, oh, what's going on over here? Oh, well, I only had like maybe a month or so of witnessing this. I want more. You guys had 10 years of watching this and participating in this. I want to have I want to be abusive and like a slave and stuff like that too. Like I mean not a slave, but I want to be mean to like slaves or whatever like that too. And I'm just like, yo, this is fucking crazy. This is gonna be continuing a cycle of oppression and disgustingness. And with you guys exactly wanting to off me, you're doing nothing but going ahead to put yourself on the fucking list for next. You really are. And it doesn't matter if you were innocent or guilty. It doesn't really matter. You would literally be picked from a pile in order for you to be like the next fucking contestant. And the thing is that if you were willing to go ahead and off me, then you're willing to go ahead and not need me. You don't need to watch me anymore. You seem like you have a handle on doing things on your own. Why don't you go ahead and fucking do it then? Why don't you go ahead and live on your own? Do your own thing. You don't apparently you seem like you the kind of people who don't need me. And it's just like, okay, like that doesn't hurt me. You need to go ahead and worry about yourselves, as far as trying to extract certain kind of things in order for you to go ahead and make a profit out of it. Because everybody, I'm telling you, Black and non-Black have shown their asses. And it is just it's up to me to go ahead, apparently, right now, for the time being, for me to just put it out, in which I have. So yeah, justice, real justice, because oops, as you can see the other day when I recorded the part about the judge and the court in session, there was just a lot of holes in that. And also yesterday, one of the prosecutors there, she emailed me something that definitely left a hole in there. And I was just like, yo, this is just it's like you're giving me all this stuff very conveniently. It's showing how it went from when you're making it seem like, okay, wow, this is like when you try to make it seem like, oh wow, this is like so crazy, or like how how this came about. Mind you, again, it started from here to here to here and then here. And all the while I'm maintaining a good friendship, or while I'm over here, exhibiting myself as a good friend or as a good family member, you guys have over here already decided to be like, oh yeah, but don't tell Shalise. You guys have made your little fucking lies, made your fucking little groups and opportunities in order to be evil to me. And in addition to being evil to me, you have your own connections where you work within the government, where we have family within the government. Trenton, New Jersey at the point in time was extremely, and it still is, a very small, it's the capital of New Jersey, but it's a very small place where everybody mostly knows everybody. Some people are your cousins, and some people are your and some people are your actual cousins. Um, Within Trenton, at one point in time, we only had one high school. Right now, we have like different things. We have daylight, twilight, and we have like I think we have like another like different types of like schools. We had very few middle schools too. So yeah, now with the monetization that you guys have made, the profits and things of that nature that you have made, Trenton has become more dispersed. So my cousin is literally the assistant to the mayor. And he has been so for over like 20 to 30 years. And it was just like 20 to 30. I don't remember exactly, but I just know that the mayor, when I was a kid in elementary school, he worked for. So during that time, like if you know everybody and within that, it was very easy for you. Plus, you've seen the corruptions in New Jersey, so you're not oblivious to the way how people are willing to just do nefarious shit. If you look it up in the Google, our mayor, our last mayor prior to this one, was arrested because for some nefarious shit, and even his brother and things of that nature. So yeah, it's really it goes deep. It really goes fucking deep, and I'm not capping when it comes to the bullshit that's been going on against me, and it has circulated through my entire life. Excuse me, through my personal life, my private life, through my professional life, through my, at work, my employers, all of that. Once you, once you go here, and this person right here has connections too with fucking, the judicial system and the military, bitch, bitch. I'm the smallest little town that becomes big. It just seems very coincidental. Like around this time, within that 7 year gap, people have automatically, it was just like, oh, like now we're gonna have a black president. And we're also going to make one of the Trenton residents win the Olympics. There's a lot now, between New York, where I live temporarily, between New York and New Jersey, but New Jersey primarily is going to be hosting for FIFA or FIFA, for soccer, just a bunch of shit. It's just like it has not gone past my head. It's just like I'm just realizing a lot of the BS that's going on. And while you guys are saying, "Oh, like this is crazy," it's just like, well, just hold on to your hat, sweetheart, because the things that I want to go ahead and put out there are necessary. Because like, how are you going to stop? Even if I go ahead and put this out here, just like, but at least I put it out there. It is the biggest I told you so, which is what I've been doing consistently for you guys. It's just like the hugest I told you so. So while you're over here trying to pretend like, just ignore the naysayers, or you talk about things like ignore the naysayers, or don't have fear, don't have fear to succeed. I'm like, bitch, that's gaslighting, that's projecting, because I have spent my life going ahead to achieve things at the tender age of like 5 up until my adulthood, where I have an invention that was patented by an Ivy League institution. So that right there, that in itself is just a projection, because you've done the most. You are just trying to blanket and cover over something that's really serious, which is the human zoo experiment, which is this right here, which is modern slavery and human trafficking. Okay, so yeah, my name is Shalise Mapp. I have been unjustly abused severely, and right now, to this day, there are people out there who are trying to save face for all the nefarious, criminal, corrupt bullshit that they've been doing to me unjustly. So while these people are trying to make themselves a victim and trying to deflect, distract, I'm over here literally having to go through this, and it's, I'm done with it. I really am fucking done with it. So I will discuss this more at a later time. But as of right now, I'm going to go, and I will see you all later. And if anybody wants to help, I would greatly appreciate it. It's so crazy on how you telling me to like be grateful, and I would love to be grateful. I would love to be grateful. I'm like, I mean, I do walk in gratitude, but it's just like let's cut the bullshit where you're trying to make it seem like I'm not where I should be quiet and silent. Okay, like just enough. All right, guys. Anybody who's willing to go ahead and speak up for me and speak out publicly, and just say it for what it is. I've seen the think pieces that you guys have done. I've seen you guys, be so adamant and out there about, somebody like, two best friends borrowing another person's sweater and things of that nature. How hard is it, or how fearful are you of actually speaking out and literally saying my name? I hate to sound like, Sandra Bland, but like literally this shit right here is abuse. It's insanely corrupt. I ask of you when you're saying like, oh, this person is, afraid of being social. It's just like, well, yeah, because you guys are like lying to my face and acting oblivious to something. If I'm asking you for help, if I'm asking you to speak out, if I'm asking you to do the whole think pieces that you guys have done before with other things, that's literally my moment right there for me to, be like, hey, look, say my name because this shit right here is totally unjust. It's illegal and it's corrupt. All right. So my name is Shalise, and the more people will actually say it and not say it in a passive way people to get for people to get, I guess like attention off of other things in order to use because what happens is that people have used my abuse in order to transfer justice for others. I can't tell you how heartbreaking it is. When like initially during the time when I really caught on, like I can't tell you like how heartbreaking that was. So yeah. All right. I'm going. Bye. I will see people later. Hopefully, like obviously, because today is just yeah. But let it be known, like seriously, let it be known. Like when people were trying to make me seem like I have like an unhealthy mentality, that is just a projection. When people are trying to make it seem like I would try to like, try to off myself. That is definitely a wish that they want to have because they want to go ahead and just try to like off me, especially since I'm being outspoken about what the fuck is going on. So it's just like, no. I will not give you the fucking benefits of that. Remember, I would literally rather see my abusers go before I go. I want to fulfill my life, but it's just like I know what hindrances are going on while people are trying to like save face and try to make distractions. All right, and that's it. I will say goodnight to you guys.